Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Creative Basement Podcast. It's been quite a while. I don't even remember when the last one was, but we're kind of here together with some friends, and we're going to do another podcast. So we got Diana.
Hey.
And Junji.
What's up?
So we're going to be talking about something completely different than what we normally talk about on the Creative Basement Podcast. We're going to be talking about finance and investments in the year 2020. Some crazy stuff has been going down.
What a great year.
Yeah, down in great year, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy times. Yeah, so in case you didn't know, we've had a pandemic this year.
Yeah.
And things have been...
There's no way you couldn't know, but we've prepared for this. We've talked about it. We knew what to do, and somehow we didn't do as much as we wanted to do.
It's always like, man, I wish we did.
We didn't know where the bottom was really going to be, or, where we're headed anyway, but we still thought it was going to take a little bit longer to really bottom out. We didn't really know where it was. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you do. Well, what she's talking about is basically back in March, middle of March, somewhere right there. So the S&P 500, basically everything just kind of went down. Stocks, Bitcoin, gold, silver, like literally everything, because of obviously the pandemic. And when troubled times happen, like scary things, people kind of get scared. They're afraid. They want to take money out of the banks, especially because...
Well, if you couldn't go to work, you weren't going to have any money. So
exactly.
You're afraid that it's all going to tank and you don't want to lose everything. So
the mindset or the psychology behind that is people are afraid. They want to take money out of stocks they're going to sell even at a loss because they don't know what's going to happen. They need money to pay for their cars, their house.
And they don't know how long everything was going to be closed or whatever it is, if it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So people panic.
Definitely. So then it bottomed out. And then what happened? The Fed comes in and they're like, cha-ching, or the printers go brrr. You start printing the money, not even money, currency. And I don't know, stimulus packages, companies got bailed out, economy's turning around. So the real economy is completely disassociated with the stock market, obviously, because there's 50 million people or up to 50 million people jobless, or at a certain point there were. How can the stock market actually be up? How are these companies making profits? There are Amazon, obviously, Facebooks and tech companies that could make billions of dollars and millions of dollars, but the store down the street isn't open. That's the real economy. Mom and pop shops and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, what happened? Everything went up after they announced the stimulus packages.
It didn't take that long, yeah.
So we pretty much recovered in terms of the S&P 500, but it's kind of crazy. I didn't think that. I thought it was just going to keep going down.
I wasn't prepared for it to be a pandemic. I don't know. You don't really know what's going to cause the market to come down. So I didn't really know what to think about with what to buy necessarily.
Yeah.
If I would have known, I knew cigarette companies for some reason was big, but then
remember we were talking
alcohol,
about
we looked at Sam Adams and how much that went up. To see that after the fact, I was so mad. I'm so mad.
But prior to this, we're expecting possibly there's a recession coming because the economy's been in an expansion for over 10 years, which is kind of a long time. So we're looking at plays at a play in which if there's a recession, what stocks are resilient or durable during that time. So Dollar General, and it pays a dividend. And then cigarette companies, people are going to be stressed out, maybe smoking more cigarettes. Those are sin stocks. People call them sin stocks because it kind of weird making money off of a company that kills people.
Yeah.
And also
really
the bicycle manufacturers,
Peloton.
People want to go out, but they don't want stuck on the crowded place. They want to move first. Then they buy the bicycles.
Yeah.
And bicycle shop, local, if you go there, it's massive crowd, like Costco weekend. So in all of the manufacturers.
Well, yeah, even, I don't know if you want to start going into this direction, but yeah, just to see the amount of people, like you said, everybody's now going outside and, trying to get a bike to ride their bicycle and everything. We go for a walk at the park almost every day after I get back from work, and it would be the same, five people we would see. They always look familiar. Yeah, prior to all of this. And then once this all happened, all of the sudden, it was so many people. Like,
Bikes,
so many people.
rollerblades, skates.
Yeah, rollerblades, roller skates. Never seen anyone doing that at the park. People on bikes, people skateboarding, people like playing catch like on the actual fields. We were like, whoa, what is happening? Like, where did all these people come from? Like,
Right.
They were never here for years at this park and never here. And then all of a sudden, everyone was outside. It was pretty awesome to see, but at the same time, I was like, hey, man, I need my parking spot because now there's only half the amount of parking spots.
Yeah, that's
You guys
right.
didn't even use this place before.
That's right. That's something I came from Japan, and the park is always empty in this country, and the mall is always full.
Yeah.
And now it's completely changed, and the market and the stock price directly reflect that fact. And you know, like that kind of corporate-driven market, like a shopping mall business,
Mhm.
is not sustainable anymore.
Yeah.
So I feel like our daily life, change of our daily life, or our instinct, our feeling may have a very good, like projection of the future, which stock we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Focus.
interesting. That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
More, and besides this, the whole stock thing, like, it's possible potentially a lot more people are gonna get healthier, because they're looking more into like
I hope so.
healthier, things like especially just fitness alone. More people go into the park.
Well,
from what we
can't
noticed,
find dumbbells. We can't buy any dumbbells. We can't buy any gym accessories. Like, I
Sold
luckily found
out.
those 10s that he pretended they were really heavy when he handed it to you. Randomly, because finally Marshall's reopened. That's like one of the little, like, you know what Marshall's is, or like
a
TJ Maxx.
Maxx or
It's
whatever,
like
yeah.
that. They finally reopened since they had been closed for so long. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe they will have stuff because everyone else is sold out. And they did. That was the last package of like dumbbells. But you can't find anything anywhere. It's all sold out on Amazon. Everybody's just like, okay, I guess we're going to do our own home gym because gyms are still closed. So I think people are taking it more seriously and trying to work on themselves. Now I think that they understand what viruses really are. I think you kind of always just people just thought kind of you just get sick, it's a cold, okay, it'll pass, whatever, but you don't really realize until it was something this big where they tell you, well, if you have these comorbidity, I can't even speak right now. I think I drank too much. The comorbidities where you have high blood pressure or you have diabetes, then you're way more likely to actually be affected by the virus in a negative way. You don't want to have that and then catch a virus. And I think people now realize that. So how do you take care of that? Take care of your health.
So I just want to go over some topics that kind of popped up this weekend in terms of things that have to do with investments. So what I like to talk about on not this podcast, but some other videos that I do on my other channel, gold, silver, Bitcoin. I'm kind of hot on those, sort of topics right now, sort of as a hedge against what's going on. Or I guess, they call it like an insurance policy. So if everything if shit hits the fan, these sort of investments should do really well as a store of value, increase with inflation. They shouldn't decrease. So, me and Junji were talking before this, and he said something. You said you don't like gold?
I mean, like gold.
Gold, like the metal, the gold metal.
Gold is
in terms of like, I guess, an investment or
like gold is at first. I don't like the fact they says AU on the periodic table.
yeah.
They hiding the true identity. Why we call gold? We should call it AU.
That's true too. Yeah, on a
Right.
periodic table. So
Yeah.
that's like an abbreviation. So what is AU anyway? And then silver's AG, right?
Yeah, silver's AG.
So it's on the periodic table. So it's a metal. God made this thing, supposedly. Some collision of stars and whatnot. So we supposedly gold on Earth. It's mineable. I just want to do a little comparison between gold and Bitcoin and silver. So gold is mineable.
I'm sorry, the periodic table is in Latin.
AU.
So gold.
So it's like,
No, so gold is actually aurum. or aurum.
Aurum. And what's silver?
And then silver
Agrum.
would be, let's see,
Agrum, 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 agrum.
argentum.
Argent. Oh yeah, I've heard that word before. Oh, that's weird because in French, I think money. That's interesting. Money in French is called l'argent or something like that.
So maybe it's some sort of.
But that's like the
Mixed
paper
with
money.
that.
So they call it l'argent. It's money meaning the silver, which is interesting because money was, prior to all this stuff, money is gold and silver. Like Romans and Greeks and prior
Mhm.
years, like real money is that stuff
Yeah,
for like thousands and thousands of years.
Before fiat money came in.
Yeah. So just real quick to go back. So gold is mineable. Obviously, supposedly there's not a shortage, but a low supply of gold on Earth because it takes a long time to find it. You have to mine it, do all this other crap. So honestly, you don't know how much is actually on the Earth, the planet Earth, plus
Yeah.
the silver.
Or else you got to get on a spaceship and fly out to a star and mine it there.
Oh, that's why Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's what I want to get
Oh.
to. But just real quick before we start that, Bitcoin, we know what the supply is. It's 21 million, not counting the ones that were lost. So the lost Bitcoin is possibly between 3 and 4 million Bitcoin. So we're actually less than 21 million. We know that it's a fixed supply. Gold, yes, you guys just said it. You can go on an asteroid eventually when Elon Musk figures out how to go to space and start mining gold for on asteroids. And then what happens to the gold supply? It
Interesting.
increases.
So,
what's
the value will
of the
come
gold?
down because
Yeah.
there's too many.
So going to the SpaceX to go to the Mars is kind of similar to the Oregon Trail. Go to California.
The California gold rush.
If such a gold is such an important thing, already space aliens should protect all of the gold, but no
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Like anyway, so interesting information is actually it's happened in the past because Japan is in the Marco Polo's like a travel log says it's a country or nation of the gold or something. Like that was first time the Japan as a country introduced to the Western countries. Marco Polo is a kind of like a preacher, traveled all of the Eastern Asian countries, and many people know about the golden country Japan. And funny thing is that is kind of true because in Japan there's a lot of gold mine exist, and what happened in the like several hundred years ago is Japan has so many gold but lack of the silver, so like a ratio, like exchange ratio of the gold and silver is much closer. Ratio is much smaller. So the gold is relatively expensive in Japan. No, gold is relatively cheap in Japan compared to the silver.
Yeah.
So a lot of Western countries came to Japan and buy the gold using the small amount of the silver.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, then they gain a lot of money from that because Japanese think that is normal. And eventually all of the gold, not all, but the major considerable amount of gold is leaked from the market, Japanese market. Then at that time, Western market has a gold much more than that. So we joke about like alien gold thing, but it's actually happened in the history.
Oh, alien in terms of different countries.
Yes, yes. So therefore, like we are laughing, but it can be happen in the considerable amount of the possibility.
So now we just got to wait for the aliens from other planets to come, and then we'll see if they take the Bitcoin or the gold
Yeah.
or the silver or just us,
Yeah.
human beings. You're coming
They don't
with
want
us.
us. We're stupid. They don't need us.
But I agree with that, like a gold as a like a last resort. This kind of like unexpected, this kind of economy which we cannot predict in the future. So gold is such a like a rare metal which never change the value because we only have the value we have.
So what they say is like you don't really want to. I mean, obviously it depends on who you are, but you would look at what the price of gold is to buy. But essentially, it's like don't look at the price. How many ounces do you have? That's more important because the value of the dollars and other fiat currencies are pretty much caca.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything.
It's almost a mortgage. You own it.
Yeah. And like the dollar bill is it's nothing.
That's paper.
Yeah, and it's not backed by anything.
Actually, the US dollar also backed by like gold.
Yeah, not anymore though.
3% of the United. I don't know how much exact number, like probably 3% or
It's zero.
not zero. Like it's still less than 3%, I guess. Is the actually the U.S. government has a gold on the like what is a army base on the Kentucky
The Fort Knox.
Fort Knox. Yes, in the Fort Knox there is a like a big facility which protecting the all of the government owned gold, which is fortified by the M1A2 Abrams and massive amount of the soldiers and concrete wall probably as thick as like what it is aircraft carriers protection. So yeah,
So from what I know is 1971 the US dollar came off of the gold standard, so it's no longer backed by it at all.
but they still have some portion.
They have it, but the dollar is not backed by it.
That's right, because dollar amount is much bigger amount than the gold.
Because prior to 1971, you have a bill, then it actually says it's an exchange for a silver or gold. You give the money, the dollar bill's the currency, and you can actually go to the bank and get silver and gold back. But not anymore.
This conversation makes gold put the higher position than the US dollars, because US dollar, if we print more, we have more, which is not good, but the gold is
Inflating.
like a fixed amount.
Fixed them, sort of.
Yeah, so therefore like
You can't print gold.
that's
essentially.
right.
Yeah.
We cannot not make the gold automatically. It's so therefore like gold sounds much safer.
Yeah, and then obviously Bitcoin, but that it's a whole different world though, because like we said, gold and silver have been around for thousands of years. Bitcoin's been around for 10 years, but Bitcoin has it's the best performing asset in the last 10 years. It went from 0 and it went to 20,000 in 2017. And it's still up now. It's not 20,000, obviously. It's about to hit 12,000.
So what is the strength of the Bitcoin? Who support it?
So
Who endorse the value?
Somebody buys it. As long as you buy it and somebody else buys it, then that's the value. If you believe it's a store of value to maintain your wealth, you put your money in the bank and get 0.05%, or negative interest rates coming soon at a bank near you.
No, that sucks.
Oh, I know it does, but that's why I just wanted to say, like, Bitcoin is a competitive to the Federal Reserve, a competitor. So you're like going against the system, taking your basically taking the power to your own self. But what I wanted to get to next was, once you do that, you're basically doing the opposite of what the government wants. So years ago, whatever it was, 50, 60, 70 years ago, gold became illegal in the United States. If you owned it, basically, they confiscate it from you if they found out, and then you pay a fine or you go to jail for having gold, real money. In the Constitution, it says real money is gold and silver. And you weren't allowed to have gold. And then it became legal. Then it was freely traded, and then the price of gold went up because it was capped at $35 an ounce, and then people could trade it, buy it, invest in it, and the prices went up. So
I see. So the Bitcoin's value is sustained because everyone wants to buy it.
yeah. So then people say, oh, it's like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. So that is a big difference with like US dollar or all of the currencies. For example, like US dollars, even the United States deploys a military power to sustain the US dollar or US dollar based market on the another countries.
Yeah,
So-
that's one thing they say. The dollar it's not backed by anything, but you could look at it as, the government, the military, this, that, and that. So it's not actually backed by an actual physical real thing like gold or silver, but it might, the confidence in the United States and the trust and safety, if that's what you want to call it.
So what if like economy is so bad, or like some kind of like catastrophe is happened, like then everyone lost the mindset of the investment. I just want to preserve whatever I have right now to be like a survival mode. Like then the Bitcoin is too new and too risky, and many people want to withdraw from the Bitcoin and go to like gold is a good example.
That's definitely true. So the thing is like it's really hard to get gold and silver if you buy online. I mean, you can go to a coin shop, I guess, but there's like crazy shortages going on. Like if I want to buy Bitcoin right now, I could buy Bitcoin and it'll be in my wallet in 1 second. Gold, if I want to buy, it's going to come in a few weeks, a few months. There's shortages. But like you said, just to kind of get more into it, the government, the United States eventually they're going to get rid of cash, and there's just going to be an app on your phone.
Well, aren't they working with MIT right now?
Yeah. So it's going to be a blockchain, possibly a blockchain digital currency app that you use on your phone. So I know you notice you go to the store, there's no more coins. Supposedly, the Federal Reserve, there's a shortage of coins. So you start with the coins.
So
then
like
you get to the paper money.
I see. So the gold is not so good in the liquidity, so-called. So, but the Bitcoin is high in liquidity.
I would think so, because then, see, the gold thing makes more sense just because it's been around forever, but it's such a new technology. We have the internet. So Bitcoin makes more sense, especially if they're going to make an app that every American's going to have to use to make purchases on daily purchases or whatever. You're not using cash anymore. You're using the Federal Reserve shitcoin, basically.
So then now it's almost same trait US dollar has is inherited by that US sitcoin you said.
Yeah. Yeah, so
it's kind of a hybrid.
If you have $1 million in your bank account, when they make the switch, you'll have $1 million or whatever in your wallet, your Federal Reserve wallet thing. So then, what happens to Bitcoin? Are they going to try to make it illegal? You're going to go to jail. You have to give up all your Bitcoins because it's a competitor. It's even closer to a competitor.
They might. But just going back to that, we had a tropical storm last week where we lost power. How do we pay for anything if we can't access our phone?
The internet. Yeah, that's interesting. If power outages or the internet goes down. Yeah.
There's only a matter of time until your phone dies. I mean, I guess you could keep charging it in your car, but...
Microchipped.
You think?
Neuralink, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. The other thing is like gold, like let's say you have $1 million in gold and that's all you have. And you want to get the hell out of the United States or whatever other country. How are you going to do that?
You just pack it in your suitcase and let them put it in on the plane below, and you trust them. You can't lock your suitcase, so
you
just trust no one opens it.
Jail if you have $1 million worth of gold. I mean, you're not going to bring that on a plane, first of all.
I was obviously joking.
I know. Okay.
Well, because you'd have to pay for it being overweight too. Your luggage,
that's true.
So
this is what, like, you have to buy the plane. Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to get at, so gold is very heavy. It's hard to lug around if you want to flee a country or go somewhere else. Bitcoin, it's right on your phone.
If we hire like a private jet company or something, that kind of thing is almost TSA or like at least Japanese what is this, custom. They didn't check as detail as scrutinized as normal passengers because they trust company.
But your bags don't go through like an X-ray?
Sometimes if it's a regional airport, they even don't have equipment, so they don't go through. It's interesting, right?
But once you get to wherever you're going, would they have?
Yeah. Because then if you come to the United States, you have to fill out that declaration form. If you have more than $10,000, they're gonna, I think, tax you, or you have to tell them if you have $10,000 or more on your body.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 ounces of gold, you have to tell them,
Yeah. Oh, I
Mhm.
see.
or 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Actually, that's how Nissan, the car maker, Carlos Ghosn, who was arrested by Japanese government.
This
About
sounds
the-
familiar.
Yeah, embezzlement. In Japan, he spent a lot of money from the company to satisfy their own family's demand or something like that. For the family's party, almost family party, he spent the money on that, like from the Nissan. So that's why he accused. But he successfully escaped from Japan, and he is now in the Lebanon.
Huh.
And how he successfully escaped from the Japan is he used a regional airport, and he hiding inside of the cello is a big instrument.
Oh, the cello,
Equipment. Yeah, inside
case.
of the cello box. he was in there, and obviously that one is not scanned because he was in the private jet,
Wow.
which is chartered by the
Wow.
So that kind of thing is actually easy to done.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We just don't know.
You got to be
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah, creative.
You also have to know where you're going, though.
Yeah.
What the risk would be getting there
That's right.
once you get there.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Like just for stocks, I just to keep it simple, like just for stocks, basically I'm just doing dollar cost averaging, whatever stocks that I like. We were supposed to talk about this actually. So the Warren Buffett thing. So I've been in gold barrack since March around that time. I was like, yo, Diana, look into some gold stocks, some gold mining stocks. And she was like, oh, look at this one. It's called Gold, GOLD ticker symbol. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me look into that. Barrack Gold ended up being, I guess, a pretty good pick because Warren Buffett, the gold bear, meaning, he doesn't like gold. He wants to invest in companies that actually have revenues, produce something, pay dividends. Gold doesn't pay dividends. Well, some mining companies do pay dividends. But anyway, he invested supposedly $500 million, so $500 million, into Barrick Gold. So that's pretty awesome because I have that freaking stock.
Me too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully, a bunch of people jump on the bandwagon and see the value in gold.
Oops.
And then hopefully they also get into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You think Warren Buffett is going to buy Bitcoin one day as an investment hedge? An investment for a store of value? Or
I don't know. I mean, if he was so against gold, he might end up turning.
He says he doesn't invest in things that he doesn't understand. So
Okay, but he
mostly
didn't
tech
understand-
stocks and stuff.
Okay. Well, then I don't know.
Like if he doesn't understand the business or how it works. I mean, he's older, but that doesn't mean anything. I don't know. So anyway, it's surprising to people and I guess me that he actually invested in a gold mining stock, and that was back in March, which was the perfect time to get it. Who
course.
knows if he got any more gold stocks or even owns gold? His portfolio or the money that he manages is $800 billion. That's his whole thing. That's insane. So he put 500 million of that into one stock, and he's dropping off banks.
Pennies.
Pennies.
That's compared to compared to Jeff Bezos or something.
Yeah. 800 billion? Oh, 500 million putting into a stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to be the first trillionaire?
Jeff Bezos, right?
I don't know. I mean, nobody's a trillionaire yet. I'm just saying who's going to be. I wonder who the first trillionaire is going to be. I guess him.
I bet him,
Yeah.
because he has Amazon and AWS is very good on the IT service also.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, if they keep printing money at this rate, then we'll find out pretty soon.
Yeah.
What's going to be worth more? I don't want to say like a bet or not, but let's say we come back 1 year from now. What's going to be priced in the US dollar more? A gold ounce coin, like a gold eagle, or 1 Bitcoin? What are we thinking? 1 year.
I would think Bitcoin.
What do you think?
I agree. Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm going Bitcoin.
All right, let's see if we're all wrong next year.
We got all these millennials Yeah, I think they like Bitcoin, but they're also getting into gold, so it's interesting stuff. All right, so I just want to get real quick into the gold to silver ratio before and now. So meaning before, meaning March, where we had this total crash in the economy and the stock market, gold, silver, everything basically went down. Now we're kind of recovered. So gold to silver ratio means basically this many ounces of silver buys you this 1 ounce of gold. So for example, you need at this given point in time, let's say about 80 ounces of silver, you can get 1 ounce of gold.
So what was it in March?
So in March, it was about 125 silver ounces to buy 1 ounce of gold. So that means that silver is super undervalued versus gold. So a lot of like something that is kind of crazy with the gold and silver market is that the prices are heavily manipulated because people are trading not the actual metal itself. This paper trading, like kind of like just stocks. So they're trading silver and gold that doesn't even exist. So like I said, the gold to silver ratio was super high in March. It was the highest ever recorded. And now we're back to about 80. So typically what happens when the ratio is very high, the silver price is undervalued. And when the gold to silver ratio gets tighter, very low, silver is pretty expensive versus, the gold price.
Well, do you think it's overvalued or just more where it should be?
So was it Socrates or Plato said it should be fixed at a certain ratio or something like that? Like 15, I don't remember what it was, but it should be more closer in value. So some people think that it can actually get to the single digits, the silver.
And was it ever?
I think it has been. Sun Tzu, I think he wrote about it in The Art of War. I think that's a book. I got to read that book. But he mentioned some gold to silver ratio, I believe, and then how much they were paying people in terms of gold and silver to do certain jobs, whatever it was. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to get at is the highest ratio was hit in March. And now, since we're in this crazy recession or even a depression, it's possible that the gold to silver ratio is actually going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And like I said, some people think
How
in the
tight do you
single
think
digits.
it's going to be?
If it can get to the single digits, silver can be over $100 an ounce. It could be $1,000 an ounce.
In the history, we have gold silver ratio 1/5.
So 5 silver to 1 gold.
Yes, it says. I didn't check the.
When was that?
It's just a random website, so I didn't verify it. But in the end of the Tokugawa shogunate era in Japan, so the world ratio is 115, but in Japan 1.5.
5. So just as an example of how that would be priced out today. So okay, Google, 2,000 divided by 15.
The answer is approximately 133.333.
$133 for silver. Like silver is super very undervalued. And it's used in things like cell phones. Gold is also obviously computers, solar panels. One interesting thing I remember, supposedly in January 2020, all new homes in California, I don't know if this passed, all new homes in California need to have solar panels installed. The great state of California. So that what would happen? The more demand for silver.
Yeah.
So
which would drive prices
higher. And then is there something with the Cybertruck? For somebody, I remember reading something, I don't even know, like there's silver in the Cybertruck or in their Tesla vehicles. Kilos maybe, I don't know how many. But that would be a lot of usage of silver as well.
It's
in
not
a
gold.
vehicle.
Usually
No,
gold is
silver.
Okay.
In the Tesla cars. You're saying it should be gold?
No, gold is very important for the circuits.
Yes, small amounts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the silver, I've never heard about how to use it because it's not how to say, connectivity is not
So
Good.
I haven't looked into it, but I do know that solar panels do use it. And then, did you find something for Tesla?
I'm just seeing stainless steel.
Okay, maybe that wasn't true.
The color silver, but it's.
Well, Tesla in general, though, you're looking just Cybertruck.
I'm looking at just the Cybertruck.
So there might be some kind of like a technology breakthrough of the silver mine can be easily yield silver than the 150 years ago. That can be a
Yeah, advancements can make things easier. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why maybe the current high that it can be a reason of the current high ratio.
Okay.
I didn't
mean-
check the technology though.
I mean, it could be. Yeah.
Okay, so I found it. So it's saying that the electric engine, the battery pack, and the battery management system all require silver.
And it doesn't say how many
It's
kilos.
very small.
Small amounts.
It says even though it is a small amount, the aggregate total adds up quickly and will only go higher the more cars they produce.
That also, and then the huge trucks. I mean, that has to have a way bigger battery. I mean, that's just one example. It's just funny to hear things like that. Advancements in, let's say solar panels and in electric cars, they require silver. So it's just an actual use for it rather than, it's just a coin or it's just this thing. Like it actually utilizes and is used for something that benefits people. Unlike Bitcoin, right? I mean, there's other things, benefits that you get from Bitcoin, but we'll talk about it another time. I guess you kind of get an idea of what those benefits could be. So stock to flow, let's get into Bitcoin stock to flow. So basically stock to flow is basically, what the supply of the actual asset is. So say Bitcoin or gold or silver, or the yearly production of the unit or the thing that we're measuring. So the stock to flow of Bitcoin constantly gets greater. As it gets greater, the flow of Bitcoin, the new Bitcoins that are found every single day, every single year, it comes down. So the dollar is an inflationary currency. Bitcoin is deflationary. You get less and less every single year. Is there something you're going to say?
Mm-mm.
So obviously you would want deflation and not inflation. I mean, inflation is good. Yeah, you buy a stock and you get more money in the future. But most people get hurt by inflation and they don't even realize it exists and it's there. So rich people get richer, the poorer get poorer. It gets more separated when you have constant inflation. So Bitcoin is the opposite, like I said, deflation. So everybody has the equal chance of participating in the Bitcoin network. So according to the stock to flow charts and information, there's this guy called Plan B on Twitter. You should check out his page, Genji. I think his Twitter handle is actually 100 trillion USD or something like that. Because, pretty soon we're going to have $100 trillion bills like Zimbabwe. So with time, he's charting the stock to flow chart. And basically it's going to go to $100,000 soon in the next few years. That's what that's showing.
All right, so going back to the whole silver thing, this article is saying that silver is now leveraged against the technology industry. So if you own and use technology devices, then there's some sort of silver in it that is needed to function. So as long as consumers keep requiring these technologies, then, and if the demand remains there, then the silver's future looks very bright. Right now, there's about 800 million ounces of silver mined globally per year. About 1.1 billion ounces of silver is consumed globally per year, which means that there's about a shortage of 300 million ounces per year. Once the stockpiles of silver run dry, the price of silver will skyrocket. So since it's being used up faster than it's being mined, eventually it'll catch up and then it's going to be worth a lot because you need to keep maintaining and building these technology pieces.
And then as the prices of those devices go up because of inflation,
yes,
prices actually of technology should go down because it's easier to do and blah, blah, but whatever. A smartphone now is like $1,500. So then the price of silver could go up obviously as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like probably gold is more useful as a investment purpose or like a asset purpose that doesn't using.
Yeah.
So therefore, like a silver has a good fortune, a good future.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I guess I always meant like gold. I love gold. I don't just talk about silver just because it's silver. Silver is the play right now, the best bet. So because it's super undervalued, I like both gold and Bitcoin and silver, or all three. So I think the idea is you accumulate you have to say it right. You have to stack your silver, stack your silver coins. And, once that ratio comes down, hopefully the single digits, you trade in your silver to get gold. And then you repeat. Once that ratio converts again, buy more silver and then sell it for gold. So you always kind of want to get more gold, more gold.
So you can choose one of three.
Yeah. And then obviously this is, the extra money you have to play with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Market caps. So Apple's almost at $2 trillion. In terms of market cap, gold is about $10 trillion, and Bitcoin is almost $300 billion. It's still in the 200 billions. Is it possible for Bitcoin to hit the $1 trillion market cap now that the Federal Reserve is, hitting the keyboard? The keyboard that has a bunch of numbers on it. It has the zero button. You just go on there and you push the zero button a whole bunch of times and you can print the trillions. You don't actually print the money, the currency. You just hit the button on the keyboard because the money doesn't exist. The currency. I keep saying money. It's currency. Fiat currency. So if they can keep printing currency, then asset prices such as Bitcoin should pump and go and become I don't want to say valued higher, but you need more fiat currency to buy the actual thing.
Okay.
So more printing means values go up, market caps go up, and the
Yes.
first trillionaire is going to show up soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with the amount that they're printing to bail all of the companies out.
And who pays for it?
We will pay for it eventually.
Yeah.
But
The government doesn't have money. They either print it or take it from people through taxes.
yeah. Well, the people that work.
Yeah, through taxes.
Yeah.
Or inflation, or driving your car, paying tolls and all that other crap. I don't know.
And like you said, negative interest rates in the banks soon.
You know about that? Negative interest rates.
Is this a logic? Inflation rate is higher than the.
Not exactly, but yes, kind of, but not that.
Oh.
Actual negative interest rates at the bank.
So you know how you have like your checking account or your savings account and you put your money in there, and usually they give you a percentage for leaving your money in there. I mean, right now it's crap anyway. It's like 0.01% or something. Just like in Europe, they will start charging you for
Mhm.
keeping your money in there. So it can be 2% fee.
2%, the percentage for your checking account.
Yeah, yeah.
Negative 2%, but it's
Yeah,
not
negative
negative 2%. It's lower than that, or higher than that. Not
Yeah.
lower, is higher. So negative, let's say 0.5%,
Yeah.
Mm.
or negative 1%, whatever it is. So the bank takes interest from you,
Mm-hmm.
and then takes that interest and gives it to people that want to
They loan it.
get a loan.
Yeah.
So
I
you
see.
get paid to take a loan. How crazy is that?
Wow.
So if that happens here, people getting mortgages
Mhm.
will get paid to get a mortgage.
Yeah, using the money that they took from your bank account for you having money in there.
So
Wow.
mortgage rates right now are like about 3%.
Mhm.
So if they go negative, the person getting the money to buy their house will get annualized percentage on their investment. You take out a loan for $100,000, you make whatever 1% is on that.
I didn't know that it was for all loans though. I thought it would be like for loans for like a business that you would end up generating income.
I mean, I feel like that would be that, no?
I mean, no. not
Well,
necessarily.
once it goes negative, what's the difference?
I don't know.
Because if people are putting money in and willing to lose interest on their currency, their money, then it should go to any loans that they give out, because that's how they're making the money now.
That's weird. Yeah, if I was a country like that and the bank taking money,
Yeah,
I wouldn't save the money to the bank. I will.
Absolutely.
exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you
I will
put it in Bitcoin or gold or silver
Yeah, like something like
or stocks.
how to say? Yeah, how to say? Yeah, like a mutual fund or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it somewhere else.
So here's the crazy
no
thing, though.
incentive.
Here's the crazy thing. If that negative interest rate happens here in the United States, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That means interest rates are very good because you're getting paid to take it. Because right now it's 3%, and a lot of people are buying, and the house prices are going up. If negative rates happen, people are getting paid to take mortgages. What the hell is going to happen to house prices?
Oh yeah, they're gonna skyrocket. They're already way overpriced anyway.
A poo house that's like $300,000 now is going to be $1 million,
Yeah.
$2 million.
Mm.
You get paid to
All right,
take the
Caitlin's
mortgage.
here. I'm gonna go.
All right, so all right, guys. So that's pretty much it. We talked about a bunch of stuff. Thanks for stopping by, Junji. Thanks for stopping by. Diana's far away.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, we'll see you in the next podcast. Let us know what you guys think. It's kind of all over the place, but maybe we'll do another one. Junji will drive by next week and we'll do it again. Just kidding. All
Hope
right,
see you guys.
see ya. Bye.
All right.
Thanks.
See
Bye.
ya. Bye.